Hello there, listeners. I'm Moosejaw Matt, and this episode is one of those that we have once in a while where I take time to answer your questions. Some of these questions were asked a couple months ago, and we've just been waiting for the right time, and now is the right time. So for those who've been waiting patiently, thank you for waiting patiently. Let's get started. Question 1. Why does water not rust pipes like it does rust other metals? That's an interesting question. Rust happens when iron, water, and oxygen mix together. But the trick is most water pipes aren't made out of plain iron. Many pipes are made from copper, plastic, or steel with a protective coating. Even iron pipes often build up a thin layer inside that protects them from rusting more. So even an iron pipe will get material on the inside that's coating it to protect it in a way. So water can cause rust, but only if the metal lets it. Pipes can rust, but because a lot of the pipes are not plain iron, they don't rust. Question 2. When we cry, why do our tears taste salty? Have you ever tasted a tear? Of course, most of us have. Most of us have cried. It's a healthy, normal part of being human. Tears are made mostly of water, but they also contain some salt and minerals, just like the ocean, except definitely less salty. That salt helps keep your eyes healthy and kills germs. In fact, I went swimming in a pool a couple of years ago that did not have chlorine, but salt. It was salt water, just a little bit of salt, not a lot, not like the ocean. And that water was really nice to swim in. I could tell the difference. My body appreciated it. It was much easier on my eyes and my body than chlorine. Interestingly, when I've opened up my eyes underwater with chlorine, my eyes hurt. They sting. In the salt water, I could open my eyes, and it was wonderful. My eyes didn't hurt at all because the water in the pool matched my eyes very well. Question 3. How are bubbles formed when putting soap into a bathtub? Bath bubbles. Soap is amazing because it traps air, and when you splash water, air gets mixed in, and the soap stretches around the air to make tiny pockets or bubbles. Without soap, bubbles pop almost instantly. But with soap, the bubbles stay. Soap acts as a surfactant. What a word. Something on the surface, in other words, which reduces water's high surface tension and slowing evaporation. Water, when there's a bubble, the water is so thin, it will change dramatically through evaporation or through something touching it and popping. But the soap, it's kind of like giving it a little bit of an armor. It'll last longer. Question 4. Why do our eyes water after we sneeze? When we sneeze, the muscles in our face squeeze really hard. That pressure pushes on the tiny tubes that drain tears from our eyes, so the tears spill out instead. Question 5, and Claire's question is, how does the human cardiovascular system work? Now that's a big question, and it's an important one. The cardiovascular system includes the heart, blood, and blood vessels. Our heart is a powerful pump that pushes blood all around the body. But, by the way, the heart is more than a pump. Often in science books, it'll say that the heart is a pump. It is more. And recent science studies are showing that the heart is incredible. It will send more signals to the brain than the brain will send to the heart. There is something in the heart besides it being just a pump. There is more to it, but that's for a different episode. For now, the heart is part of the cardiovascular system, so the blood carries oxygen from the lungs. We breathe in. Air, which also contains oxygen, goes into the lungs. The blood takes the oxygen, it absorbs through the lungs and carries it to the body. The blood also carries nutrients from food and takes away waste that our body won't use or cannot use. Every beat of our heart helps keep us alive, even while we're asleep. Now that's a quick answer. The cardiovascular system does that in a miraculous, amazing way. Question 8. This is from Jonathan. Where is the highest cliff in the world? There are a couple of answers. The highest sea cliff in the world is in Norway, rising up 3,600 feet straight up from the water. That's over 1,000 meters. But another famous one, which we've talked about before, is Mount Thor in Canada. And it has the greatest vertical drop on Earth. It's so exciting. Over 4,100 feet straight down. And if you haven't listened to it, go back and look at episode, I don't know the number, but Mount Thor. Yeah, that was an episode I really enjoyed. Especially when we pretend to be a little pebble, and we get kicked, and we're quiet for over 20 seconds. Mount Thor. That's taller than many skyscrapers stacked on top of each other. I would love to go to Mount Thor, but it is so far away, very difficult to get to. So I don't think I will. But that takes us up to question 9. From Catherine, she asks, what is the atmosphere like at the highest cliffs? So this is tagging on with the previous question. The atmosphere, the air is going to be thinner because there's less oxygen. Air does have weight. It's not nearly as much as water, but it does have weight. So air is more dense, closer to the surface of the earth. The higher you go, the less dense it is. Up there, it is going to be colder, and it's probably going to be significantly windier up there at the top of the cliffs. That means breathing can be harder, sounds travel differently, and weather can change quickly. Birds that live there have strong wings, and plants generally grow very slowly. Also, a question here is, why do we say, bless you, when someone sneezes? That is because, originally, from ancient superstitions, when someone sneezed, people thought that evil spirits were trying to enter the body, or that the soul was trying to escape. So it was like a little quick protective prayer. Bless you. And that way the person would be okay. So today we talked about things from the nose to the heart and the bathtub to the tallest cliffs on earth. Clara Jane, happy birthday to you. This is belated, but I hope that you had a wonderful birthday and that you are doing well. As well, happy birthday to Adam, Tommy, and Eli. Adam, Tommy, and Eli. Thank you, Ashley Stevens, for your kind words. And thank you, Christian, for supporting the podcast. I'm glad you're here to be a part of the podcast family. Well, you know what I'm about to say. I'm Moosejaw Matt. Until next time, stay warm if you're in the Northern Hemisphere, and stay cool comfortably if you're in the Southern Hemisphere.